Welcome to episode 155 of True to Size. It's your boy Nelcam.
I like how you really slipped that in there at the end. Like you weren't gonna say it's your boy Nelcam, and then you.
Say. I'm like,
it was almost like a Tourette's. Like you have to say that it's your boy it's your boy Nelcam, by the way, just in case you're wondering. What's going on, everyone, and welcome to True to Size. We are a weekly podcast centered around the wild world of sneakers. I will be your host today. My name is Lawrence Hopkins, and I am joined by the rest of the quarantine at Canada Got Soul, Mr. Joel Hernandez.
Yo, is that Nelcam, yo?
Mr. Alvin Martinez.
Yeah, I think it's Nelcam, bro.
And that was a really, really fun setup. And the man behind some of your favorite basketball and sneaker shots. His trigger finger is said to be the only thing faster than add to cart sneaker bots.
Oh.
He's probably the only person with better seats than Drake at a Raptor home game. His ID says Nelson Campana. It's Nelcam if you don't want to say his whole name. Bro, thank you for being here, man. This is awesome.
Thank you, guys.
This is so dope. As we were saying before, your posture again makes you look like you're media ready. Like you can't see it at home, everyone, but he's slouched. Like he's like, this is my 8th interview of the day. Like he's been doing the rounds. This is his last one. So we do appreciate you being here. If you aren't familiar with Nelcam, he was the one who took the iconic picture of Kawhi hitting the buzzer beater again. Oh wait, no, you missed that one, right?
No,
that was someone else. Yeah, you missed that one.
That was on purpose. On purpose. It's like, oh wait, you did not get that, by the way.
I've been waiting almost 2 years to make that joke. I'm glad that I got the opportunity to make it. You said that it was going to haunt you until the day you died, and you're correct. But I'm glad we got it out of the way. He is the man behind a ton of your favorite Raptor photos. Nelson, I do have a quick question, before we get into anything, and it's just going to put a little bit more salt into the wound about that missed photograph. But were the Raptors kind of pissed that you've been covering games for years and years and years, and then the most iconic moment in Raptor history, you missed it?
No, I don't they weren't pissed because there was so much coverage of it. They would have been pissed if there was no photo or moment captured. But I was actually tasked to do something else, and it was I can't get into detail with what it was because it was something it was if we lost or if we won, I had to do one or the other, and so I had to be prepared, and I wasn't prepared to shoot anything right there and then. So I wasn't in trouble or anything for not getting that moment. I was actually it was actually cool. I was in the tunnel behind Masai and Bobby, so I got a cool moment out of it because I got to see them just blow up and hugging people in the stands and stuff. It was actually really cool. But I was super sad knowing that I was 2 feet away. I just couldn't get a picture of it. And anyways, so.
Okay, bro, you remade it in a cool video.
Yeah, that was a really cool. I remember that video. Yeah.
The day after I got to do that, I was like, this is cool. This kind of makes up for it.
Yeah, you got to be Kawhi. Yeah, you didn't get to shoot Kawhi.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to be Kawhi Leonard.
You got to be him.
Exactly.
Yeah, when I was scrolling through your feed to do the research to what to talk about, I was like, I don't remember him posting a photo of Kawhi hitting the shot. And then I found around the time and I was like, oh, there we go. There's a whole caption about he doesn't have a photo of it and he's really upset. I have to make sure I bring it up. But now that we're over that, we've got a great show for you guys this week. You know we love drama and Nike never ceases to disappoint in that department. So we're going to cover some Nike lawsuit news for you guys. Then once again, we're going to talk about something other than food in NSR before we get into it with our homie Nelson. Of course, he's going to get to play some games, but we're also going to learn how he got into sneakers, what he does that earned him an NBA championship ring. That's our 3rd ring holder on the podcast, by the way.
Hey.
And if he wants to take all my shoe photos for me from now until forever, we're going to negotiate that contract afterwards. Apparently, he's not that busy, so he may have a little bit of time for me right now. But first, before I say Alvin's name, but first, It is. I know you guys are listening to this on Saturday, but today is Bell Let's Talk Day. So we just want to give a shout out to Bell for the big initiative. All three of us, I'm going to say all four of us, our DMs are always open. If anyone needs to talk, anyone needs to reach out. Let's destigmatize it. Let's talk about it. Let's make sure that mental health is not like an under the rug thing. We're all here for everybody, and everybody just needs a hand sometimes. So we're always here if you need it. And second, Alvin.
Fire round.
Yes, the fire round. We like to start every show with a quick hitting question from you, our listeners. And this week's question comes from Kieran Coyle, aka All That Sneakers, all the way from London, England. Somewhere in England, maybe London. He says, "Hi guys, love the show. My question, is there generally a rule?" So this is like a two-parter. Is there generally a rule for how long it might take before sneakers start to crumble? He says because he just bought 2018 black cement 3s and bought the matching pair for his son, but he was going to wait until it fit him, which is going to be another couple of years. So he wants to make sure that if he unds's them together, he wants to make sure they'll be fine in a couple of years. He says the death count in London right now for COVID is like 1,600 people a day, which is like terrifying. So he's not sure when he's going to be able to actually break them out. So he wants to make sure it's a special time, but he may end up just wearing them to the grocery store if we tell him that the shoes are going to crumble. So that's the first part of the question. And this is perfect because we have 3 sneaker dads on the podcast. So Joel, first of all, for you, like I think that the smaller, like toddler infant size Jordans it's not like a foam, right? It's more of like a rubber outsole. So I don't think that would have an issue. I don't think it would like crumble or anything, but I'm sure all 3 of these guys have stashed pairs for their kids for a long period of time. So let's see, Joel, did you have any issues with that when you were stashing stuff for Jomar?
No, there was no problems with his. Like you said, it's like a different kind of like a midsole, if you want to call it. It's not like the men's or the adults version with the air bubble. But yeah, it all depends on what size he's talking about too. Because I know with like once you start getting into the bigger toddlers, that's when they start throwing in like, you know, the air bubbles, the air units and stuff like that. So it all depends on what size he's talking about.
Yeah, that's very true. Alvin, you worked at Foot Locker in like 2009 and didn't have your first kid until what, 2016? So I know you were stashing shoes for quite some time. So did you have any issues with that?
Not yet. There's still a large, not a large amount, but a good chunk of pairs that Kaya hasn't worn that were from 2009 to 2015-ish. So we'll see what happens, man. But so far, so good. Like she's now fitting into a pair of like military 4s that I bought for her whenever those dropped at that time, and they're perfectly fine.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's been like 9 years.
Yeah, I just say like store them proper, man. Like don't put them near like a vent where air comes out and shit. Don't put them in sunlight. Like you know what I mean? Just store them proper, and I think they'll be fine, bro.
Yeah, cold, dark place is the idea. Kind of, I think that's how you store potatoes too. Similar to how you store your potatoes, store your sneakers.
Just store them with your potatoes.
Nelson, any issues with storing sneakers for the kids and having them crumble or anything like that?
Nope. I still have all of his sneakers from like day one, and I still, you know, check them out every now and then. None of them have ever crumbled that I've seen, at least. My only thing I would say, the only tip I give to parents with like toddlers, especially stashing shoes for when they grow into it, is make sure that you don't like forget that they're growing rapidly, and you never know, they could be in that shoe a lot sooner than you think. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Like I had a pair for Carter once, and it just blew by, and he didn't fit them. Like I just fully forgot, and he just like outgrew them before I could even put them on him. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, and they may even like skip a size, right? They may even go from like a 3 to like a 5 or a 6 or whatever, and you're just like, oh, so there's goes all those pairs I've been waiting 8 years for them to wear.
Yeah,
exactly. Even if it looks big on them, like just put them on them. It looks just cute anyways. Like yeah, just do it.
Who cares? Nike, just do it.
Just do it.
The second part of his question is there a pair that you've been waiting to wear, but you're worried it may crumble? So I don't know if you guys have any old pairs. The only pair that that I haven't worn. Actually, I have a pair. The only pair I have that has crumbled is my Ginger 16s. I think that was 2001 they came out, and they actually crumbled while I was wearing them at the Jordan store. I think it was for the grand opening of the Jordan store. And they crumbled and the strap snapped that night. So that was kind of annoying.
Wow.
I have a pair of 2001 Mocha 3s, and those are still super wearable 20 years later, which is super impressive. So, I mean, yeah, I also have a pair of 2001 black cement 3s that I have not worn yet. So, yeah, I mean, once again, it all depends on storage, but yeah, the only experience I have with crumbling is the Ginger 16s. Joel, I think you've had a pair talk to you a couple times, no?
Yeah, the black cement 3s, the 01s, the midsoles went on them while I was wearing them, and like you said, they were talking back to me, so I was like, fuck. Flapping away. But yeah, it all depends on like storage, the way you store it too, right? So, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Once air gets in there, it's hard to like, you know what I mean? Like just to keep them away.
Yeah,
So,
I think as long as you're not stashing this pair, Kieran, for like 20 years, like if you bought a size 9 for your kid, like 9 men's, then maybe you're like, maybe you'll have an issue.
yeah,
But
maybe
I think if you've bought any toddler size, you'll be fine. Alvin, any experience with a crumbling shoe? I know you've gotten some shoes restored, so.
Nothing crumbling. It's just like sole separation type stuff. Of stuff that I've been wearing, it's just they're just old now, so I probably need a reglue or a sole swap. But nothing crumbling, luckily.
What about you, Nelson? Any old pairs that are starting to look a little bit shaky?
No, not really. I haven't come across crumbling, luckily, but same thing as Alvin. Pretty much just a lot of wear and tear, you know. But yeah, no crumbling for sure. Not yet, at least.
Well, you guys are lucky. Me and Joel are the ones with the shitty shoes that are falling apart. If you would like to submit a question for the fire round and have us answer it on the pod, please shoot us a message on Instagram or email us at canadagotsoul@gmail.com. Next up is the CGS picks. Each week, we all pick an upcoming sneaker to analyze, dissect, and give our thoughts on. Then we decide if it's poop, scoop, whoop-de-whoop, or Alvin's trademarked phrase.
Very super cute.
That was good. That was very, very good. So I have to go first. I know I usually go first, but this week I have to go first because typically I don't like to do this. Like all shoes are kind of nice in their own little way, but this shoe is not nice in any way, and I just need to talk about it. So my pair this week that I chose is the Comme des Garçons CDG Nike Foamposite. It's the collaboration you didn't know you needed, and that's because you didn't need it. There's a black pair and there's a white pair. They look in the dark. If it was just the silhouette, you would have no idea there was anything wrong with this shoe. And then as soon as the lights turn on, you're like, what happened to this thing? So it kind of looks like a really large fingerprint on the back panel. And then another smaller, like, pinky print on the front half of the shoe. It's just really weird, full of spirals. They really did, like, some super crazy stuff with the foam pattern. I don't like them. I don't know if you could tell by the way I'm describing them. In the photo, like, on the runway, the model is wearing them with, like, really thin dress socks that are really scrunchy, and it just turns me off even more. Just everything about it, man. Like, some shoes, like a Foamposite, are just not meant to be turned into like a super fashiony like runway shoe. There's some shoes that, you know, you can get away with it, like all the chunky Air Maxes. Sure, I get it, whatever. But the Foamposite, to me, just needs to be left on the court or like reserved for being worn with sweatpants and sweatpants only, or like at least a baggy pair of pants. I'm not a fan of these. These are a poop for me. It's only it's January 28th. Happy birthday, J. Cole. But these are the worst shoe of the year already and will be for the rest of the year. I don't like these at all. I do not. Let's go with Joel. What do you got? Sorry, hopefully something slightly nicer than, like, have a nicer explanation than me.
Yeah, okay. So I think this will do it. But yeah, so my pick is Air Force One, surprise, surprise. Valentine's Day. This one here, not like the other one with the heart and you know, it was just playing with the heart on the heel. This one here is pretty cool, the way that they came up with this design and whatnot. But you have a white upper with the hits of pink suede on the eye stays and on the toe box, or not the toe box, but the toe counter and then the heel counter. And you got white leather on the toe box, but in the perforations it's like hearts.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like heart
So
perforations.
cool.
And
Pretty
then
sick.
the swoosh is like in a red leather, and on the heel tab you got Nike Air embroidered, but the dot on the eye is actually another heart.
Yeah, I
So
like
you
the
got
details.
hearts galore. Yeah, so you got it's on top of a white midsole with the pink sole. Another cool feature about it too is on the tongue.
Yeah.
So it's like a love letter, sorry. And whoa.
You sounded like you were sending a love letter in grade school there.
Yeah, man. So it's got like snaps on the tongue, and when you open the snaps on one shoe, it's got, let me pull it up. It says "True Love Since '82" on one shoe, I guess on the right side, and on the left side it's let me see, where is this? On the left side it says it's just a heart with a swoosh.
Yep.
But yeah, it's cool, man. Like, you know what I mean? You can't go wrong with the white and pink and whatnot. It's got a mini swoosh on by the toe box, but
Sounds like you're sold,
man.
Joel.
Yeah, these come in like I think these are like a women's release.
Oh, okay, so
For the
maybe not.
though. Yeah, but these are cool though. I like them. Super cute.
Super
Hey,
cute
Julie.
from Joel. Alvin, what about you? What do you got?
I got the Adidas ZX8000 frozen lemonades, and
Love the name.
I mean, it's a ZX8000. It's part of the A to ZX series, so you already know the materials are going to be butter. And the colorway itself is dope. It's influenced by like the OG citrus color that they had of these, but it's definitely a little bit different. I love the hints of yellow on there. The insole itself looks like, it has a recipe for lemonade. Yeah. And then when you look at the insole too, like it just looks like ice cubes in a cup with lemonade on it. And it's just, details are dope. ZX8000s are, dope. This colorway is dope. It's definitely a summer color.
Mm-hmm.
And they come out yesterday, the 29th.
Tomorrow. Yesterday.
At if you're listening to this on Saturday.
If you're in the Zoom call, it's tomorrow. If you're listening, it's yesterday.
The retail price is $120 USD, which is like $160 Canadian-ish. And yeah, man, these are gonna be a scoop if I remember that they come out tomorrow / yesterday.
My favorite detail is I saw it in the pictures on the inside of the tongue. It says ZX8000, but the zeros in 8000 are 3 lemons. That's sick. Those small little details are like, that's how you get like the Nike boys to jump on board with Adidas. Those stupid like the shoe that Joel just described with like the love letter, like that's the stupid details are what like the Nike boys love. So we mentioned this last year. That's what they need to do, and they're doing it. I love that little detail. It's so stupid. It's the stupidest thing. They're listening. They must listen. They have to. Everyone listens, and especially this week because we got the gentleman below me, to my below, and Nelson. Nelson, what pair you got for us this week?
Mine's actually like, I'm assuming it's going to be a general release, but I just love the colorway. But it's the cool gray 3s.
Yeah.
They're gonna. I love 3s for one, and I love cool gray, and they have these like little orange hits, and orange and gray just always seem.
A bop.
Yeah. So as soon as it's like, whenever I see it, like, I just want to stare at it. So it's like, it's going to be, I think it's going to be a general release. I can't imagine it being super exclusive or anything, but, those ones just stand out to me. I mean, Carmine's, I think, are coming out this year too. I don't have a pair of those, so I think I'm going to be pretty excited about those, but the cool gray 3s are my pick for this time. So.
I think I'm gonna be down for those. I had a really, really, really beat pair that I bought assuming I was going to restore it and then never restored it. So, and then I sold it for actually much less than I paid for it. So I think I'm going to be in on those as well. I like that shoe a lot. Like you said, it's way past overdue for that shoe to come out again. It's been 15 years. Great picks all around. Next up, This Week in Kicks. This is the part of the show where we discuss the current headlines and happenings in the world of sneakers. And Nike has another lawsuit. Woo! We love Nike lawsuits. So Nike loves to sue people. They sue everybody. And 2021 is getting off on the right foot with more legal disputes being initiated by the swoosh. So Nike and their subsidiary brand Converse are suing almost 600 websites that traffic fake Nike sneakers. 600 websites. So in the legal documents, the brands call out a total of 589 sites and other online platforms, including social media accounts, for the quote-unquote unauthorized and unlawful use of their trademarks. So the brands are arguing that the products being sold are infringing on their obviously their trademarks, and they're being like passed off as Nike shoes. So it's not just like one of those situations where, it's just no, they're trying to pretend like they're selling real Nike shoes, and they're trying to fool customers into thinking that. So Nike is asking that the offending parties be prevented from selling counterfeit products or any other items that are confusingly similar to those manufactured by Nike and Converse. It's also seeking statutory damages of $100,000 from each of the 133 infringing domains. Jeez. So 133 times 100,000, in case you were wondering, is $133 million. That's a lot of zeros there.
Damn, dog.
In case you were wondering. So it's going to suck for a lot of brands. They're either going to get shut down or have to pay a lot of money, or both. But so next up, previously in Kicks, this is the part of the show where we review our latest pickups and recap the latest happenings in our sneaker lives. And I actually forgot to mention a pickup last week, so I want to get it out of the way first, and that was Soul Stop. I actually won a raffle from Soul Stop for the Yellow Toe Reebok Question, and I forgot to mention it on last week's podcast, but I kind of just like, someone told me last year that they just enter every single raffle they see and they decide afterwards if they want to keep it. Just the way it lined up, it was one of those like, maybe if this was 3 weeks from now, I just was kind of like, I don't know if I like it for $250 after shipping and tax. So I posted it on my story. That's why I guess nobody even saw it. I won. I got the email. I posted it on my story. I was like, if anybody wants these for retail, just let me know. Got several replies, sold it to somebody for retail, and I didn't even ship it to me. I just shipped it straight to their house from Soul Stop, and that was it. So I think it was actually Big P on Instagram. So shout out to Big P. Got a pair for retail. And then I also won a raffle last week from Adrift. I don't know what's going on right now. This has been a good year this is crazy. I don't win raffles.
Fire, bro.
I like this, but I don't know what's going on. From Adrift for the Wheat Dunk Low SB that just came out. I didn't even know they were coming out. I had never even seen like early images of it. I don't know if they're late, early, something, but really cool shoe in person. Quality was on point. The color, like brown shoes, are right up my alley. I love brown shoes. So yeah, shout out to Adrift, shout out to Soul Stop. Really happy that I actually win raffles now in 2021. This year is already looking up. I'm super pumped about it. Nice. Joel, anything for you?
I pulled the trigger on the Kraft Air Force Ones.
Jeez.
The white and was it photon dust or
photon
They're
dust?
from normal. They're on sale on normal, bro.
Photon dust. Were they? Shit. I wish I knew. Damn. But yeah, I pulled the trigger. It was the last size. It was my last size, so I just did it, and it came in. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. Like the quality of them is ridiculous.
Yeah,
for like an Air Force One, like that leather is just super soft, and it's I don't know, it's just the shape of it is like amazing. So. But yeah, man, like, don't sleep on Kraft Air Force Ones, like any of the other colors that they've dropped, because it's like super legit, man. Super dope.
Nice. Alvin, anything for you in the last 7-ish days?
Yeah, man. The Adidas fam hooked us up with the ZX 5000. It's like the VI in the A to ZX series, and that stands for Vieux Lion. I probably said that really wrong.
That sounded good.
It sounds good. So that's
proper, yo. Yeah, man.
So Vieux-Lyon is a village in France, and essentially this is where the jacquard fabric was originated from. And the jacquard fabric is like, I mean, if you see the photos, it's like that fabric where the pattern is stitched into the fabric as opposed to being stitched on it or imprinted on it. And it's pretty dope, man. It reminds me of like these pillows my parents used to have in our house on the couch. I was like, why are these here?
But you're not allowed to use those
cool,
ones,
right?
the ones that are in plastic.
Yeah. They're wrapped in plastic.
Yeah, the shoes are dope, man. It's predominantly gray, and it's got like hints of purple, and then the stripes got some pink on there, and it's a dope shoe, bro. Quality is crazy, obviously, because it's got the jacquard fabric all over it, and that translucent sole does something for me because it's different. And then the midsole itself is like, it's like mostly patina / like off-white with hints of white on it, and it's just a super clean shoe.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see a What You Got video for it soon, and check out Kuya Joel's What You Got video that we just posted.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
shout out. Yeah, shout out. Nelson, any shoes in the last little while for you? It doesn't have to be in the last week, but in the last little while.
Actually, the last shoe I picked up was like in the fall. It was like September, to be honest. I had like through Christmas, which is usually a time where I just kind of rinse out on shoes. This year last year I had to kind of like play a little bit chill and like put the blinders on a bit. And I mean, it wasn't that I wasn't even trying. I wasn't hitting on any raffles, or I wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? But the last shoe notable shoe that I picked up, that I got super lucky with and I didn't think I was going to get was the Union LA 4s, the Guavas. Yeah. So like, I didn't think I would actually get them, and I did, and like they're just beautiful. I love them. But that was a long time ago. It was like September. So
holy crap.
So yeah, nothing recently. Yeah. I've been like I've been eyeing stuff, but like I just haven't been pulling triggers, or the times I do, I just don't win anything. So it's been kind of like slim pickings for me. So.
That was the release on UNLA where they added that like bot protection where it was like what color is an orange or something like that.
Yeah, that was the one. Yeah, that was the one.
And you got through. I guess you were able to guess what color an orange was, and
yeah, it took me a second to think of it, but
is this a trick question? Are oranges different colors in Los Angeles? Maybe, I don't know. Yellow, maybe, I don't know. They got some fancy stuff over there. Who knows? They got the CDG foam posits down there, so who knows what's going on with their oranges. Next up, thumbs up, thumbs down. In this part of the show, we give our opinion on various sneaker-related topics with zero context or discussion. All we're allowed to say is thumbs up or thumbs down. And we get tagged in these a lot. I've done one or two from here and there. I know Alvin's done them. I'm not sure if I've seen Nelson do it. I think Joel has done it as well. But thumbs up, thumbs down to collection shots. You throw all your shoes on the ground, take a photo of it for Instagram, big flex, no other reason to do it except for the big flex. That's literally it. The thumbs up, thumbs down to the collection shot. Take it however you will. Joel.
Down.
Ooh, Alvin.
Up.
I'm thumbs down. Nelson.
I'm going to say up. I mean,
no, you can't. You can't. You really can't. I wish I could too, but no one can. I don't make the rules. I just enforce them. Next up, if you want to hear our explanation, let us know. DM us, and we will talk about it next week, and we'll get Nelson. Nelson can air his grievances next week as well. Yeah. Next up, NSR, not sneaker related. We talk about sneakers a lot, so in this weekly segment, we're going to take 30 seconds out of the show to discuss something completely irrelevant from the world of sneakers. And this one kind of hit me because today I was watching Family Feud at dinner time, and I was like, yo, this show is really friggin' good. It's still good. It's been however many years. Family Feud is still a classic. And I want to know... Chicken. Orange.
Orange.
My question for you, it's not a Family Feud. What kind of Family Feud related? What is your favorite TV game show? New or old? The list is like long. But what is your favorite TV game show? Alvin, you look like you have a confident swagger about you, like you know the only correct answer.
I'm like, so Family Feud is definitely up there for me. However, Price is Right, man. Price is Right, bro.
Price is Right.
When you play Playco, and then when you got like when you try to bid and you bid up the person who just went before you, like 1,001, Bob, and then you win. I'm like, yo, you're a bid.
Or the confident guy who bids the $1. He's like, yo, all you guys are so high above the actual price. I'm bid $1.
And then they get it.
And then they get it. And then they get it. Okay, so that was going to be my answer. I did not anticipate Alvin saying that because, man, that was in school. That was the show when you stayed home from school, you were sick or you got the day off for whatever reason. It came on at 11 a.m., I remember. And that's the show. I was like waiting for 11 a.m. to watch The Price is Right and Bob Barker. So I guess I can't answer that because I'll let you have that. I'm going to go with... I'm kind of stuck because I really liked Deal or No Deal. That was a good show.
Oh yeah,
that was a good.
That was a really good show. That was such a good show. It's just the Deal or No. It's so it's so exciting. Like, are you gonna take it? What's in your briefcase? And you're yelling, take the deal, take the deal. Like, you know what's in their briefcase. But I'm gonna go with, honestly, man, Jeopardy. Like, I don't know if it's because I'm getting a little bit older now, but like I know like 6% of the answers, and I feel like an absolute genius when I watch it, and I answer literally anything. So I'm sitting there for half an hour, and I answer 3 questions, and I'm like, man, I could kill Jeopardy.
Yeah.
These guys are dumb. These guys suck. They're answering questions about like the war, and I'm answering like, what is the capital of Ontario, Canada? Like, and I think I'm an absolute genius. So I'll go with Jeopardy. But Joel, what about you?
Oh man, I was gonna say Jeopardy too.
Oh damn!
But Family Feud is good too, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say Wheel of Fortune. I like that game.
That game is hard, man.
Yeah, man. I think challenging, makes you think, kind of thing.
That's the crazy thing about Wheel of Fortune is like there'll be like 17 blank letters with 3 spaces between the words and 2 letters filled in, and this guy's like, I know the answer. Birds of Paradise. Like, how do you know? There was only a B and a P. How do you know that?
Or all the letters are there and 2 letters are missing and they get it wrong.
And they get it wrong.
I saw a video before we get to Nelson, because the anticipation is now killing me for Nelson's answer. I saw a video of one where it was completely filled in. It was like mythological hero Achilles.
Oh yeah,
and he pronounced Achilles wrong.
Achilles?
Achilles or Achilles, and he didn't. They didn't let him have it. So the next person was like, "All right, I guess I win."
Achilles. Oh yeah.
Damn.
That clip.
I guess his Achilles heel is spelling. But Nelson, what about you? Favorite game show on TV, new or old?
Okay, so I'm gonna say an old one. This is gonna so date me. I don't even know if any of you guys will know this. Joel might know this one.
I'll probably know it.
It's do you remember Kid Street?
Yeah, I remember Kid Street with the race cars and stuff
okay.
like that.
Yeah, we were in the race car, but when you win, you get to pick like all these toys from like this like little like toy room or whatever. It was so sick. Like, can you imagine being a kid and be like watching these kids just picking out like free toys like off these shelves like when they win? That was sick. But my next one, like more modern, like a little bit old still, was Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Oh yeah,
that was, yeah. Like those are pretty epic. There's some pretty epic moments in that show. Yeah. No, I love that show.
First question though.
Yeah, I seen that video of the guy who lost on the first question.
Oh yeah. So bad.
You can't lose on the first question. You can't spend so long trying to get on a show and then lose on the first question. You can't.
Here's another fun fact, and I can't remember the name of the game show, but it was on YTV, and I've only
is it Uh-oh?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I don't know. I don't know what it was called, but I was on it as a kid.
What?
Yeah. And if I could ever find out, I will like post about it or whatever. But I can't for the life of me. Anyway, so my dad took me, and I was so nervous, and I was against these 2 girls that were both friends, so they were having the time of their lives. Answering all these questions. I got no questions right. And if you saw my face at the end of the show, all like their friends and family were on the stage, like chatting and partying. And I was just like I was so salty. Like, That's probably why I don't talk about it.
Yo, you gotta
That's
find
why
that, bro.
Oh, we gotta
I
find
blocked
that
it out of
now.
my memory.
Yeah.
My dad was just like trying to console me on the way home. He's like, "It's cool, don't worry about it." He's like, I was on TV and I did that.
I did absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
It has to have been
yeah.
Uh-oh. Now we have to find the episode of Uh-oh that you were
No,
on.
is Uh-oh the one where they like pour stuff on you and
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I never. There was nothing like that. It was.
Well,
just
you didn't get that
simple
far. That's why
questions.
you didn't get to the,
Yeah.
to the dumping.
I would have been poured on. They would've
I guess
poured
you would have
stuff
been
on.
heavily poured on. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't get that.
Well, that's a fun. That's a
very
very fun fact. I don't know how that was. You don't remember any information about it, but yeah, we're gonna all do collectively some digging and figure this out because we all need
we'll
to
figure
know.
it. We'll figure it.
Yeah.
All right, that was about 30 seconds. Next up, errors, edits, and e-messages. We're pretty smart guys, but from time to time, we make mistakes. So if you catch us slipping, hit us in the DM and we'll let the world know that we goofed. So first up, our guest from last week, Wu-Tang Shang. He actually DM'd us and he said that he's getting tagged in a ton of Canadian sneaker giveaway raffles now. I guess he was on the episode and everyone just was like, this guy's cool. And now he gets tagged in a bunch of Canadian Instagram sneaker giveaway raffles things. So shout out to Wu-Tang Shang. That was a good episode last week. So listen and watch the episodes from last week if you haven't already. And the second one comes from Jesus Guerrero 21. He says, "Hey man, I found your podcast on Spotify and listened to a couple episodes. It was nice listening to people that are from where I am from. Keep up the good work." So thank you to Jesus Guerrero. Very cool name. You're ready to play a sport, man. You got to play baseball or something with that name. Like that's just sport ready.
Yeah.
But
Or wrestling.
the moment that everyone, including mostly Nelson, has been waiting for, it's time to focus on that guy. And as we do, just to get to know you a little bit, we're going to start with a game we call 21 Guestions. And how this works is I'm going to give you 21 questions. You give me the quickest and most accurate answer you can. No thinking, just fire quick, boom, boom, boom. Man,
Okay.
You're married now, so I know you played 21 questions with your wife. Like you're getting to know her. You're like we always say. It starts off with like, "What's your favorite color?" And then the question number 21 is like, we can't even talk about it on the podcast. It's like it's one of those that escalated quickly, but this one will not escalate that quick. Kind of quickly, but not that quickly. Are you ready, Nelson?
Cool. I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right. Question number 1: air or boost?
Air.
Question number 2: crew socks or no shows?
No shows.
Question number 3: red or blue?
Blue.
Question number 4: pineapple on pizza?
Yes.
That's
100%.
correct. That's 100% correct.
I have that right now, actually.
Question number 5: what is the most comfortable sneaker that you own?
Oh man, Reacts. I don't know. Yeah, Nike Reacts. Like I use them all the time in the gym. So.
Oh, and he has
Nice.
the Flexity exercises. All right, whatever. We see. Question number 7: question number 6: glow in the dark or 3M?
3M.
Question number 7: original boxes or drop fronts?
Original boxes.
Question number 8: Nikon or Canon?
Canon.
Question number 9: Dunks or Jordan 1s?
Jordan 1s.
Question number 10: how do you say grapefruit in French?
No idea.
Pamplemousse.
Oh, pamplemousse. Yes, I did know that.
I feel like
totally
everyone
knew it.
knows pamplemousse.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's
Not
the
me,
word
not
they
me.
teach us in Toronto elementary school. No one needs to learn how to say
It's fun to
grapefruit.
say. That's why pamplemousse.
Yeah.
Pamplemousse.
Question number 11: what sneaker do you wear the most?
Oh, geez. I'm trying to remember. They're like these ACGs. I forgot what
ACG.
the model is, though. Yeah, they're ACGs. I just can't remember what the actual like silhouette's called. But I wear them like, especially now, like they're so like they're actually the most comfortable shoes. They're like slip-on shoes. I just can't remember what they're called.
So he doesn't like them
They're
that
like
much.
gray
He
and
doesn't know
purple.
the actual name. Question number 12. What is the that was from last week. What is the Canadian $1 coin called?
Looney.
That was a question that must have slipped through that was there last week for our American guests. So that's a freebie for
Oh,
you.
okay.
Question
There you
number
go.
13: elephant print or cement print?
Elephant print.
Question number 14. Favorite NBA arena other than Scotiabank Arena?
Little Caesars, because they have the best media meal. Can you guys hear me still?
Yeah. What's the
my
media meal?
earbuds are dying. That's why. Sorry. Oh, they have like because it's Little Caesars, so they have all like the Little Caesars pizza, the crazy bread and stuff. But they also have like this like badass buffet and then like free like soft serve ice cream. It's just unreal. It's so sick.
Whoa.
And this arena is nice too. This arena is beautiful. It's a gorgeous arena.
Little Caesars Arena, is that on the West Coast?
No, it's Detroit.
Oh, it's Detroit.
We can drive there.
But speaking of which, the Chase Arena I got to see last March. The new Golden State Arena is beautiful. They're so just really quickly, the Golden State locker room, the roof of the Golden State locker room is the roof of the Oracle. So it's so sick. Like, wow, it's pretty pimp. Yeah, the little things like that, like their arena was awesome. Their staff was amazing. So Chase is definitely up there.
I can't believe he just said little things like that when he discussed being in an NBA locker room. Like, there's no little things like that when you're talking about being inside an NBA locker room. But anyway, question number 15. Who is the greatest Raptor of all time?
Kyle Lowry.
Question number 16. Spell Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan.
No, you missed a couple letters.
Almost.
Missed a couple. Saskatchewan.
Yeah, I thought there was a T there.
Yeah. You've been to Saskatchewan, I think, too. So that's all the Saskatchewanians are going to be mad at you. Question number 17. What are 3 sneakerheading essentials?
Sneakerheading essentials. Oh, geez, that is a really, I don't know why I can't think of it. Only buy what you really, really want.
Mm-hmm.
Take care of your shoes, clean them, and wear them.
Wear your kicks. That's number 1, 2, and 3. Question number 18. What is farther, a meter or a yard?
A meter.
A yard is longer by
by
just a bit, but it is longer. Question number 19. Favorite Jordan model above the Air Jordan 14?
Oh, wow. That's a tough one. 14 is literally where I kind of stop with Jordans. I don't really care for anything outside of that.
Everybody stops at 14.
Yeah.
Geez, I'll just say 20. I don't know.
I actually I have a pair of 20s. I don't hate that answer. Question number 20. What is your number 1 grail?
My Yeezy ones, the Air Yeezys.
Ooh, yeah. You have the Zen Gray, right?
Yeah, Zen Gray, yeah. I bought them off my brother because he wanted to sell them, and I was like, no, I want them. So I bought them off.
Question number 21. Would you rather receive your number 1 grail or 3 other pairs from your top 10?
Oh, number 1 grail.
Number 1 grail.
Yeah.
Is that your favorite of the 3 Yeezy ones, the Zen Gray?
No, I actually love the Air Yeezy 2s, but I never could get them. Just like they're just so freaking hard to get. I just had an opportunity to get those, the Zen Grays, and I took advantage of it. So, as far as the colorways go, I love the Zen Gray though. The Zen Gray is nice. Super,
super wearable. Probably one of the most wearable colorways of all of them, easily.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned earlier in the podcast, gray and orange always hit. So there you go. All right, so you did half decent on 21 Guestions. I'm going to tally it up later, but it's not looking that good for you. But anyways, we're going to skip by that. What got you into sneakers in the first place, Nelson? How did you get started doing this? Like, it seems like I saw the video you took of you loading up your car SUV of 1,000 sneaker boxes and bringing them to your new crib. So you've clearly been doing this for quite some time. But what got you into it in the first place?
Well, actually, with sneakers, it actually started with skate sneakers. Hold on, my earbuds are dying. I can't tell if you can hear me or not, or
can hear you. Yeah,
you can hear me still. Okay, cool. So, skate sneakers was the first type of sneaker that I actually collected a lot of back in the day. I kind of wish I still had them, but I got rid of them all. And then ball. See, for a long time, I always was super interested in ball shoes, but I never got into it because I just never had access to them, and I never had the income for it, I guess you could say, for lack of a better explanation. But and then when I started working around ball, like when I started working with Raptors and stuff, it just like I couldn't help but get into it even more.
Yeah, you're forced to pay attention.
Yeah, and so that was kind of where I kind of slipped down that slippery slope of sneakers. So really, I didn't pick it up a lot as far as collecting goes until maybe like 7 or 8 years ago. And it just kind of took off from there. I just kind of got carried away, as we always, do with sneakers. So yeah, no, I mean, that's kind of like the short answer is, it was started off with skate shoes. I collected so many of them. I loved my Osiris's, my Globes, my Chet Thomas's. But
yes.
then,
Hell
yeah. So I like the D3s, the Osiris D3s were like my favorite skate shoe, and I wish I had so many colorways of that shoe, and yeah, so I got rid of them. I wish I had those still, but that's where I started. That was like early 2000s. So yeah.
Damn, we're gonna have a whole separate conversation just about West 49 shopping for.
Yeah, I used to work there too.
Did you? Which one?
Yeah,
Square One.
Square One, yeah,
Damn,
man.
That was the good one too. That was the big one.
Yeah.
I just had the Bramley City Center one, the super small one. Yeah. Like I said, we'll talk about West 49 later. No one wants to hear about that.
Yeah.
What? I mean, it seems like it may be an obvious question now that I think about it, but what's keeping you into sneakers now? Like all these years later, you mentioned it started getting serious for you about 7-8 years ago. What's kind of keeping you into it now?
Well, I mean, as I kind of went through my lifetime in sneakers, you kind of find new appreciations. You start to kind of narrow down what you like and what you don't like. And I've come to appreciate a lot of like things in sneakers that just have always kept me interested in just checking them out. Maybe I'm not like trying to scoop like a release every weekend anymore like I used to before, but there's always something cool going on, no matter how like saturated people might think that the whole market is. It's just there's such a cool art form behind it, with whether it's like the art form of like collecting it or of people customizing them or whatever. It's such a crazy culture, and I'm also fond of like a lot of like the big sneaker. Hello. Test.
You're good. We can hear you through your phone now.
Okay, cool. Let me just raise up the volume here real quick. So, following you guys, following a lot of like the sneakerheads in Toronto and around, and keeping in touch with a lot of them, is just like I just love the whole culture behind it. So, like, I just don't think I'd ever get rid of it. I mean, I think I'd be carefully getting my kids into it, and hope like maybe try to steer them into maybe not like excessively getting into it like I was at one point. I also wouldn't be mad at it too, so because I'm pretty much to blame for anything like that of the sort if that ever comes to be. So that's what keeps me going.
I've seen your children, and they are not unfashionable individuals. So I think you've already you're kind of trying to put the toothpaste back in the tube now. That it's like you've already squeezed. You're like, oh no, wait, actually, don't like shoes anymore. Forget it. Forget I said that. So good luck with that. But anyways, so I know you started, as far as I can know and remember, you started like the whole creating thing with Vine. Like that's kind of where you started with the social media. So what was that kind of like? Because that's like really, really early form. Like that's like almost pre-Instagram, at least early Instagram days. So what was it kind of like being a creator in the early days of, well, now it's an extinct social media platform, but just in the early days of social media itself? Like, was it kind of like you were a first mover? Were you having to come up with all this stuff by yourself? Like, what was kind of the vibe back then?
Yeah, I mean, like, it was crazy because I think when I came into Vine and when I kind of unexpectedly amassed the kind of following that I got from it, it was like super new for a lot of areas. So it was super new for like brands to use social media. It was super new for, you know, like anybody to be using it outside of just posting stupid, you know, videos. And so when people started taking it seriously and starting to see like how they could actually use this and leverage it to be something bigger than what people saw it as back then, it was really exciting. I kind of did feel like an early adopter for that matter, but not, knowingly, like, I don't know. It's crazy to think. I think about it all the time because, Vine's gone, but Vine literally changed my life. Like, I wouldn't be with the Raptors if it wasn't for Vine. They literally, when they hired me for the first, year or so, I was always introduced as the Vine guy. So like, hey, we got a Vine guy now. It's like, cool. My name is Nelson. Thanks. But I didn't care because it got me there. And I was so blown away that I was doing this kind of stuff and on that kind of a stage. And so, yeah, like it's amazing what it's become now. And I'm not surprised at all that at how big it is as far as like, the scene with like creators and being able to make a living off of doing this kind of stuff. It's actually amazing. It blows me away. And yeah, I could kind of talk on forever about that. But yeah, no, I got to thank Vine for changing my life. So
as long as you're not still in 2021 being introduced as the Vine guy, I think you're doing okay. Like as long as it's now like been like 8-9 years since Vine has not been around, like everyone be
it's
like,
crazy.
What, Vine? What is Vine?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I have to ask that question. I'm like, do you remember Vine? Like, and they're like, yeah, I think so. Yeah. So
you're going to be like that 80-year-old guy. Like, well, I used to be big on Vine, kids.
Yeah.
So.
I actually feel like I feel the same way. Like whenever I tell people, that, I had something going on Vine, I kind of feel weird saying stuff like that. So I always, position it how Vine, got me into the things that I'm doing now.
Okay.
Outside, like, as opposed to like just saying I'm like this, like, has been like Vine guy. No, it's been amazing. It's been so cool. And I feel like there's just so much room for creators nowadays. And even me right now, I'm trying to, tackle new things. I just started like getting back into like YouTube and stuff. And seeing you guys doing this stuff is super motivating, super inspirational for me. Cause it's like, I just got to create and yeah, it's just so much that we could do these days with that. So.
Well, I mean, you've been killing it. You got the Vine-esque videos going on with Instagram. Yeah. I see you can definitely see the Vine inspiration if you've been around long enough with the.
I've been kind of revisiting my past a bit.
The flipping the sneakers and changing the Kobe's and the jumping over the house and stuff. Yeah, you can definitely see the Vine inspiration there. But as you kind of alluded to, Vine got you into where you are today. So just really quickly, because we've kind of been like dancing around it, do you mind just breaking down kind of what you do for a living now?
Yep. So for the last 6-7 years, I've been a freelancer. I've been kind of blessed with being able to work freelance and work on my own time as a photographer, videographer, social media content creator. It's kind of weird. I don't know what to like label myself. You know what I'm saying? Like I call myself, sometimes I call myself like a content, like Swiss Army knife. It's like, like I do so many different things. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Cause Swiss Army knives, like the tools are never like the sharpest. It's like, am I just too good at, or like, do I do too many different things and I'm not good at like one thing? I don't know.
It's like a jack of all trades, but a master of none. One of those.
Yeah. But the thing is with me is like, I enjoy doing so many different things. And I think, because I've been so open to just trying different things and doing like a lot of different stuff, like it's brought me to so many places, and got me to experience so many different things. So, I can't like say, like a lot of people say, focus on your strengths and, take that far. I totally agree with that. That's one thing. But for me, I don't know if it's like my ADD or something. I just can't focus on like one thing. I just love trying to do so many different things. So for the last 6-7 years, I've been a contract photographer, videographer, most notably with MLSE, with the Raptors, with the Argos, and with the Toronto Maple Leafs, and sometimes with TFC. So sports has been a big part of my freelance career, covering them video and photo wise, and the photo side of it has been like a huge deal for me because I grew up like wanting to become a photographer, and so being able to take photos on that kind of a platform was such a massive deal for me. And so I never take it for granted. It's like every time I'm at a game, I'm just like, holy crap, like I get to do this, you know, like, so that's kind of what I've been doing now. As of lately, it's been obviously no sports, no events. So I've been just trying to like brush up on like new things, learn a lot of different stuff that I couldn't really, or didn't have a lot of time to do before. And just trying to experiment, and just have fun doing it. And yeah, that's pretty much it, really.
It's good to hear that you kind of like breathe in the moment when you're at these games and stuff. Cause like you would think that after being at nearly almost every Raptor home game for a span of a couple of years, you would kind of just get numb to it. But it's good that you're able to like breathe it in and be like, this is actually really fucking sick. Like people don't just do this every day. Like this is really cool.
And there's times where it's like, I think the only time I ever feel like dragging my feet is just driving there. Cause I'm in Mississauga and I hate driving to Toronto. So, but when I'm in there, it's like whatever. It's like all out the window. It's like, doesn't really matter. I'm just having a blast. So, I appreciate it every single time.
No, that's sick. So you got initially, I guess, discovered / hired by the Raptors for the first time because of Vine, you said. Yep. So you were shooting Vines for the Raptors, which once again sounds like the super most has-been thing ever. But there is more, everybody. Don't worry. We don't have this ex-Vine star on here. We do have a current star as well. But how did it kind of transition? Because like I feel like that would be a tough spot for you, saying like you're doing Vines, which I would think at the time, like especially a big corporation would consider like this like gimmicky kind of thing, and telling them like, no, I actually can take kind of nice photographs as well. Let me show you. You'd be like that guy trying to sell a mixtape on a corner after he just got his job like at McDonald's. Like, no, but wait, I can actually do this really well as well. How did you kind of transition from Vine, which was already making you some money, and like be able to tell them like, wait, I can actually use a real camera as well?
So when I first started, I would always bring my camera until I started getting like side eye from like a lot of the actual like NBA and like other photographers. Like, who is this guy? Like, why is he here? And is he like, you know, taking our spots or whatever, right? And so I stopped doing that because it was really weird.
Like, yeah.
But there was a time where I said screw it, and I was just so like there was, you know, a moment where like a lot of the stuff I was doing from like a Vine standpoint, or just like, you know, Snapchat or Instagram stories, it did get a little bit, you know, I don't know, like it just was the same thing. And I felt like I wasn't doing anything creative anymore. Mm-hmm. And I was just kind of posting the same stuff. And I said, forget it. No, I'm just going to take some pictures. I'll give it to them. And if they want to use it, then they can use it. Right. That's what's the harm in that. Right. And so I started doing that. And then it was like, after like a season of doing that, they pretty much just said, okay, cool, you're doing that now. And it was like, okay, cool. Like sick.
Damn.
So yeah, no, it was, I just pulled the trigger because I didn't think that they were going to want any of my stuff. I thought they were just gonna be like, nah, maybe just don't do that and stick to what you're here for.
Actually, just take the cute little 5-second video, bro.
Yeah. So yeah, no, that's kind of how it worked. And super grateful that they were open to, you know, letting me do that, and it just took off from there. So
that's like the most shocking explanation I could have expected from that. That you were literally just like you were like Peter Parker, like slapped the pictures on their wall, and they were like, Mr. Jameson, I can take pictures too, hire me. Like that's literally like the most Spider-Man story I've ever heard. But
I love that comparison.
I don't know how you haven't thought of it before. What's it kind of like? We'll focus on the Raptors for a little bit though. What's it kind of like? You mentioned the drive from Mississauga is probably the worst part of your day, and it would be the worst part of most people's days, most days. But what's kind of the day in the life like of shooting a Raptor game? Like, what kind of time do you show up? What do you like? What are the motions you go through when you get there? Who are you? Are you shaking hands with Drake before the game, after the game? Yeah. Like, is it like a halftime? You guys link up for
Drake
a drink?
Picks me up, and you know, no, it's so I usually get there like 2 hours before the game, usually in time for them walking in, because that's such a big thing now. Getting the walk-in pictures,
the tunnel pics,
and. Yeah, so the tunnel pics, and then I get them warming up. And so outside of pictures, I'm still doing like video stuff. I'm still doing, you know, like other social media pieces for them. But the photos is a really big part of it now. So yeah, I get there 2 hours early, you know, get the tunnel shots, get the warm up shots, and then I produce those, or I edit those, send them out so they could post them before the game or before tip off.
So you're editing them on the spot? Like at the game?
At the game, yeah.
What? Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. That's the name of the social media game. It's like everything has to be instantaneous, right? Especially if it's like walk-in pictures. It's like, oh, Freddie wore this like crazy ass like statement t-shirt or whatever. It's like, okay, we got to post that before whoever else posts it or whatever. It's just, yeah. So that's how it works. And then the game happens. I will shoot the first half and then I'll run back to the media room and I'll edit first half pictures and send them off as fast as possible. So they could post those just after halftime. And then after the game, there's no real rush unless something big happens. But I'll usually I'll take my time editing those and they'll post those in the morning. But, yeah, that's kind of just like a general, game day, outside of just anything special happening, that's just how it goes. It's I miss it so much. It's like single string as I explained.
I can hear the strain in your voice a little bit. I mean, I kind of always assumed that someone would have to be editing them. I just, for some reason, thought that it was, Nelson takes the photo from whatever perfect vantage point he always seems to have, and then it automatically gets sent to some poor guy in like a truck, and he has to like edit it and then send it to the social media. I didn't realize it was like you were editing these photos on the go, essentially.
Yeah.
So like the other photographers, like the sideline guys, a lot of them edit their stuff too. But some of them have a second guy, like a runner, they're called.
Yeah.
And they'll take the cards, they'll run back, and then they'll do quick edits and send them off while the photographer keeps shooting. But yeah, it's no luxury like that for me or anything. But I actually kind of enjoy like the rush and like, the hustle of it. It keeps you on your toes. So
damn, you learn something new every day. So do you ever find yourself kind of like sneaker watching? Like you get some pretty good vantage points. Do you ever find yourself like, oh damn, those are like, oh, he's wearing those. And if obviously you do, but what's like the coolest one you can remember seeing somebody wear on court?
Oh, I mean, geez, the first person I think of is PJ Tucker.
Yeah. And
he wore every single like, PE, like Grail, whatever, friends and family type shoe. Like he just flexed. They weren't ever functional shoes. They were just like super hardcore flexing on the court. And I can't remember. I think he wore the Carhartt 4s once.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably like one of the times I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, seriously. But I just feel like it's like that every time he's on the court.
Yeah,
now,
to this
obviously.
day. Yeah, especially now, even more so that he has a Nike contract and he can get literally anything he desires.
Anything, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, DeRozan always had his Kobe's, obviously, but I fell in love with Kobe's. I mean, before that, but I loved the fact that he wore like all Kobe's.
Yeah,
obviously he's with them, and I loved like the shoes that he would pull out. They'd always be so like random, and sometimes they're older Kobe's, sometimes they're like newer ones that whatever. But yeah, I always loved seeing his Kobe's.
What so you mentioned you shoot like other sports as well. I know it's mostly Raptors, but you do stuff with the Leafs, you do stuff with CFL from time to time, TFC as well. Do you have any specific players that you can have in mind that like have like a low key sneaker game? Like who is like the low key head in like hockey or on the Leafs that like nobody knows about?
Well, I know Austin like will reach out to like his sneaker plugs. Like I've heard people saying that they've lined up sneakers for him. Like he's a big streetwear kind of guy. And so when they lifted the whole suit mandatory, like they're all about it because they're all young, right? And they wear like all that stuff, like So I'd say Austin for sure. I think Riley, but out of association of Austin, maybe he just likes shoes because of him. I don't know though. But no, I think on the Leafs, Austin for sure. On the Argos, everybody is all about sneakers. Like they all love their sneakers. But I can't think of anyone, even on the Raptors. Like right now, like I can't think of one Raptor of now that's like a super.
Yeah, we don't have one crazy. Right now. There's no huge like sneaker guy that is like known for that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it's kind of odd that I can't think of one for the Raptors, but yeah, at least I know there was like Austin was one of the guys for sure.
My favorite part about that is you keep calling him just by his first name. Like everyone else would call him Austin.
It's not really like that. I'm just like, everybody knows who Austin is.
Everyone else would call him Austin Matthews, and Nelson's like, oh, you just mean Austin, right? Like, why are you calling him by his full name? That's weird.
My guy Austin, bro.
Oh, you mean my boy A Money? You talking about A Money?
A Money.
Okay, so the elephant in the room, it's sitting over your right or left shoulder. I can't really tell because things are flipped. But the Raptors won a championship in 2019, in case anyone listening was not familiar. And Nelson was one of the first people. I like that video you have of like Kawhi, or I think it was Kawhi hitting the free throw, and then Steph chucks it down the court. The buzzer goes, and then it's just a mad dash onto the court. You were one of the first people on the court. Give us just like the atmosphere. Like, what's it like? The Raptors literally just won their first NBA title ever. You've been covering the team for several years. You watched this go from like the basement up to literally the highest peak, the highest part of the mountain, and you're one of the first people on the court. Like, I can't even express how cool it is to even say, but what's the whole vibe like? Like, what's it like for you? Are you trying partially to celebrate and then also to be like, oh wait, I'm working? Like, how do you do it? I just don't understand.
Well, geez, like it seriously gives me like just goosebumps every time I think back to it. But I just remember anxiously waiting there for Kawhi to hit that, dagger free throw. And
the ending of that game was awful. That was so terrible. It was so dragged out.
Yeah. Like so unnecessary at the end, right?
Yeah, we got a review. Like, just end it. We won. Just come on, please.
Yeah, exactly. So my first thought was I don't want to get like stampeded over. Like I didn't want to like So I'm a small dude, so I have to like make sure that I'm like in the right spots and not getting like like blocked out by the people. But I was excited, obviously, and like super. I didn't know where to be because everybody was everywhere. And so I was just so like, looking over my shoulders, making sure, and I was just like recording everything and taking pictures, just like making sure that I was getting the right moments. And it kind of feels like a blur. If I didn't have those pictures in video, it would be so hard to like remember what I was actually paying attention to. Yeah. It was such a blur, and it was so amazing. And I remember I started calming down when they got on stage and they started presenting, because then like nobody was running around the court. Everybody was just kind of situated. We had our spot in front of the stage. And from that point on, it was from there. I remember clearly, I was plotting like, hey, like I have to beeline to the locker room because I'm not missing obviously that. And I remember like them talking about like, if you're not in there at a certain time, like they're closing it off to the rest of the people. So you got to be in there. So I remember Serge was walking back there with the trophy, and I was like, forget it. I'm right behind Serge. And me and Rocky from Open Gym, I was like, yeah, I'm just following him like until someone said something. And I just like beelined it inside. And like, that was probably like the pinnacle of like my like creating career. That was like the craziest moment I could ever experience and ever try to explain to anybody. And yeah, it was just bananas. I just remember thinking I didn't have time to go back to get my, the covers for my camera so they wouldn't get wet. And so I was like, screw it.
Yeah.
And I bought them just for that. And I remember going there and I was like, forget it. If my cameras get ruined,
who cares?
I don't even care.
Yeah.
Like I'm charging it to this experience and I just do not care. My shoes got ruined, but I didn't care, but whatever.
Yeah, like you said earlier, you've got the Atmos Air Max 1s is what you were wearing. Once again, Nelson is full of the big flexes over here. He couldn't just wear, like he said, some ACG because he knew they were going to get wet. He's like, no, I'm going to wear a really expensive pair of shoes and keep the champagne on them forever. Okay, so you mentioned it. You're in. Okay, the only thing crazier than being on the court right after they win is being in the locker room. There's maybe 30 people total in the entire world, maybe more than that, who can say they were in the locker room with the Raptors when they won the championship. But you got that shot. The shot. People have gotten it tattooed on their body. The shot of
Yeah,
Kawhi
for
with
real.
the goggles, with both of his trophies in his hands. Like, this is the modern day Raptor version of like MJ crying like with the trophy in his hand. Like, that's
Yeah.
a modern. And look, Nelson's gonna cry now as I describe it like that. Like, with the champagne getting dumped on him. You said in your caption like you were dreamed. Like, this is the moment you wanted to make sure you got. Like, just break it down as much as you physically can, because I'm sure it's not easy. Just like break down what was going through your mind. You mentioned you're not a big guy, so you must have been at the front of the line in front of Kawhi when he was getting dumped on. Like, just man.
I was literally thinking of that MJ picture or like the Kobe picture of him, like
the big jacket
floor.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need a picture like that. Like, that's the picture that like I need out of all these photos in this locker room. Like, I need a photo like that. And I just remember walking around like kind of aimlessly because there's kind of just so much going on. And I just saw quickly like Kawhi had the MVP trophy, and then someone handed him the Larry O. And I was like, holy crap, he has both trophies right now. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm just like snapping pictures of him with the trophies. Everybody's just kind of like taking pictures. And then Phil Haney comes up and starts dumping the champagne on him. I was like, and I couldn't like, I was so like just frozen. I was just taking the pictures. I was like, damn, this is the one. And it's literally right after that, I ran back to my computer. I told, my team, like the guys I work with, Matt, Tierney, and Sohail, shout out to them. I'm like, I got the picture. Like, this is the one we're using. And we put it out like right away. And I was so pumped. Like, it was like, I don't know. I get crazy goosebumps just thinking about that moment. And I'd be super sad if I missed that and the shot.
I was gonna say, I didn't want to bring it back up again. Like, but did that kind of like make up for it? Was that like, okay, 100%. I missed the shot, but I got like, this is the one. Like, this is the one.
Yeah.
So a funny thing was, if we won in Toronto game 5, I wouldn't have been in the locker room. We had other photographers that were ready to go in. And it was me. And so when we lost,
you were like, yes.
Yeah. Like, there's a part of me that was like, I'm the only photographer going with them. Like, this is like, if they win, I'm going in there and getting that shot.
Damn.
Yeah.
And it's as selfish and like as it sounded, I was so excited at that, opportunity. And I love San Francisco. So I was so pumped to have to go back. So yeah, no, I was so pumped. That's like, I tell people that's like my, how like uncles have like their football story from high school that they'll never like live down. Like, that is my story. And I joke about it with my stepson Chase all the time. How like that's like my claim to fame. Like, I just go around explaining to people that was me. And like,
but that
have, like, no idea what I'm talking
uncle
about.
with the football story is actually a shitty story. Like, this is a really good story. Holy crap.
Fair enough.
I can't even, like, that photo still, I went back and I like, obviously I was going through the feed and I looked at it again. I was like, this fucker got like the best Raptor photo of all time. And missed the best Raptor photo of all time in the span of 2 weeks. All right, so it may be hard, it might even be impossible, and maybe you've already described it, but do you have like a favorite moment, maybe other than the Larry O.B. Kawhi moment, but do you have a favorite moment that you've captured or that you've been a part of? Like I said, I don't know how you do it, being such a fan and also having to work at the same time, but do you have like a moment that really sticks out other than that one that is like really, really shining for you?
Yeah. When we first advanced to the Eastern Conference Finals, when we beat Miami, that was a pretty big deal. I just remember at that time, I actually wasn't really focused on taking pictures. And I remember I was just taking video on the court when we won. And I remember DeRozan picking up his daughter, and like, he was just so serious still. He's like, like still in like business mode.
Job not done.
And like, they just kind of like walked off. Like, they knew what they did, and they knew that they had, a lot to like conquer after. Obviously they didn't win in the Eastern Conference Finals then, but that was such a big moment. And I remember thinking like, and like a lot of us were like, is this really happening right now? Like, can we actually get to the ship right now?
Yeah.
And so I think that was probably definitely up there as far as moments, because I'll never forget that. That was just so cool. I couldn't believe I was part of it. Now, a bad moment, I'll tell you, was my first playoffs with the Raptors. It was Washington. We were in Washington and we got swept.
I was going to say, was this a sweep? Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll never forget how, like, I was worried being in that arena. Now, that was like the craziest first like experience of playoff, working with them in the playoffs ever. And it was such a crazy one because we obviously owned them in the regular season and then we just got owned by them in the first round. But yeah, being in Washington and like there's Raptors fans getting kicked out for fighting other Raptors fans in the stands. It was bad. And I was I was just around there. I didn't want to show my Raptors stuff. I was like, man, these guys are hostile right now. Like everybody chanting USA. Like,
yeah, I was going to say that.
Like,
I think that was the year
USA.
where they kept chanting USA at us. And I'm like, our entire team is American, so I don't know what you're cheering.
They even played Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA. And I could not believe someone actually said, sure, let's play this stupid song. Like, anyways, that was the craziest like bad moment that I've ever had with the Raptors.
That was a low year for the Raptors as a whole. So that's understandable. Holy shit. I don't even know where to go. So just, I guess to close it out, what is a little bit of advice just for, because the industry you're in obviously right now is super volatile, but even in regular times, it's an incredibly volatile and competitive industry to be in. It, like you said, it kind of just takes sometimes that lucky break just to break through. But what's some advice either for like young freelancers, young photographers, young creators, just you would like to leave with them and make sure they know?
One thing I tell everybody, and it's kind of like, it's just my go-to piece of advice, because I think it just pertains all the time, is for people in this kind of industry, photo, video, social media, whatever it is to network, talk to so many different people, ask so many different questions to the people that you kind of look up to or and you just never know. Like there's that, and you doing that kind of leaves an impression on them as it is too. Your work will always speak for itself. So if your work is good, it will be good for forever, and it'll probably get better, and your work will speak for itself. But where you could kind of make a difference is actually networking a lot, because you never know, like down the road. I'd say like 95% of all the jobs I've ever gotten, whether it was like in the workforce or just like freelance, has been from people that I've met like down the road, like years down the road, who hit me up and be like, hey, I remember you did this, and we talked about this back in the day. Would you be interested in that, this, and that, and the other? And just keep creating. Like, so it's that formula of like, making sure that you're talking to people, making sure that you're on people's radars for that matter, and making sure that you're always putting stuff out, is my word of advice. It's the most generic word of advice I can blanket over this. So
this was so cool. Like, obviously, I don't even know if we've ever actually officially met, any of us, but we've been connecting over social media for a ton of time. So to hear the actual stories of being on the court, being present for some of those moments is, man, I feel like I was there. Like, I'm hyped up. I want to take off this Laker jersey and put on a Raptor jersey and go play basketball. Like, holy crap. But Nelson, man, this was super fun. We appreciate it. Hopefully we can do this again sometime. But man, this was so dope.
Totally.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd love to be back on anytime you guys want. This was so much fun.
Sick. All right. Well, wherever you're taking in this episode, please leave a comment, review, follow, and or subscribe. Make sure to check out CanadaGotSold.ca to shop the latest CGS merch. Peep the YouTube for our latest videos, and check out CGS Talk on Facebook to chop it up with us. Do not forget to use hashtag CanadaGotSold on Instagram for a feature. I've been Lawrence Hopkins. You can find me at LDoggyStyles on Instagram. Woof.
I'm Joel Hernandez. You can find me at Joe Dooney. JO_D3OsNEY.
My name is Alvin Quincy, and you can find me at MISTERQ and then Mars.
Nelson, where can they find your beautiful face?
My name is Nelson Campana, and you can find me at Nelcam, NELCAM, on pretty much all platforms. So
beautiful. Thank you, Nelson, and thank you for listening to us talk about sneakers for 155 episodes. And please remember to rock your kicks. This has been True to Size. We have been CGS and Nelcam, and we are out. Peace.
Yeah. Peace.
Man, that was so good. Damn.
That was sick. That was so much fun.
I'm so jacked up right now about basketball. Holy crap.
I don't know, yo. Those stories are crazy, bro.